Antlers, assumptions, and artillery. All right, girls, now move with me. We're going to a 10 count. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Holly sings out as she leads the exercise group. The small army of midgets and shorter women follow along to Holly's movements. They can't keep up, but them trying is the important part. The fact that Bjorn is pumping iron on the other side of the glass is distracting them, but Holly doesn't really mind. She thought things through and realized that if her students aren't paying attention, then they'll need more lessons to really learn, which is more money in her pocket. Hey, back there, get your knees up, she calls to the back of the group as she continues the exaggerated running exercise. The small gathering of gobs starts trying to mimic her in spite of Bjorn bench pressing hundreds of pounds without Axiom assistance and is glistening in sweat as he pushes himself over and over. The fact that it's turned his white t-shirt transparent is also distracting for both her and the girls. But since she knows what he looks like with even less on and in fact has seen him bulk up since becoming her bodyguard, she can push past it. Come on, girls! I know there's a boy nearby, but you're here to get in shape, so let's get you in shape. She turns on the music and gets them to bend over and touch at the floor. Come on, with me, girls! It takes another 10 minutes to finish up her class, and that's time for Bjorn to finish his own working out. He's guzzling water by the time she gets to him, and from the scent, the sticking sweet smell of primal desire and strength. How no matter how much he denies it, he wants her. He wants her as much as she wants him, but he's too focused. He's a little calmer here, and she catches a bit of movement out of the corner of her eye and turns to see several of the gobies eyeing up her man. Good workout? She asks him as he looks up from his sitting position at her. Yeah, push pretty hard. Need a shower. He replies and she walks to the still set up weights. A bit of a grip and a lift lets her curl the whole thing. It's a respectable amount of weight, but considering the body she woke up in and can't help but maintain, it's not an excessive amount. Now that's not fair. I didn't spend 15 years on an obsessive grind, you know. You do know you could speed this up with Axiom, right? With Axiom, I can pick up and walk off with most buildings. It doesn't count. Sure it does. Just because you can't use it in the little armpit of the galaxy you humans call home doesn't mean that it's not a valid method of getting things done. I don't like relying on a branch of physics that people can turn off like the lights. Leaves you open and vulnerable. Bjorn grunts out before rolling his shoulders. I'm going to grab a shower, get all this gunk off me before it drives half the arcology insane. Just half? She teases. I don't stink that much. He protests, standing up and walking off. The gobies try to rush after him, but he enters the changing room and the door automatically locks behind him. Then the girls round about to her. You know him? Know him? I'm close to him. He's a soldier of the Undaunted, and I've also helped him bulk up a little more, Holly says, letting aside the fact that he bulked up because he's at least somewhat embarrassed that the girl he's charged to protect can easily outmuscle him. It's not so easy now, but she won't let him know that. It's adorable to see him work so hard to try and one-up her, although it will very much stop being cute if he hurts himself trying. So, you're his first girl? He's a little dedicated to his job for that, but that's part of what makes it fun. He's got only 1 or 2 places he lets his guard down, and if you can catch him there, then he gives you all of it. She taunts the smaller woman shamelessly. Last time she had gotten him to lose his mind. Oh goodness, if he hadn't. You lucky bitch. The goby grumps and Holly snorts. Yeah, lucky. Lucky to have 15 years stolen and waking up as someone I don't recognize. Lucky to have horrible, horrible things happen to me and then getting assigned a bodyguard. Yay, lucky. She lets it out before closing her eyes. She probably shouldn't have said that. In fact, it's likely that he's going to be angry at her for saying it. Wait, what? What happened? The goby asks, and Holly inwardly panics. Her mind immediately goes to the worst possible solution in that rumors could get out, and someone that Swipe thought was trustworthy could activate and come after her with another of those horrible things and make her into Knife Top again. And nothing I should tell you. I really shouldn't have told you what I already have. Do you think you could? Holly says, trying to get control of herself even as she can feel a slight panic attack happen. The door to Bjorn's change room slams open, and he rushes out dripping wet and holding a gun. He stops, scans the room, gives her an even look, and she offers a small wave. Her tracker is monitoring her vital signs. It picked up her distress and told him to come running. He slips back into the change room after another scan, and still no one says anything. "Whoa, did you see the muscles on that man?" one of the girls says out loud as the spell breaks. Holly wants to tell the girl that she's not just seen and counted them, but she's felt them. She's felt all over them, but honestly shouldn't. Are all humans that insane? I've seen them on the advertisements, and the smallest and weakest ones seem to me chiseled out of the sexiest rocks you can find. They all went through a special training. It left them all very healthy and strong. Some took to it better than others, but all of them passed. They left the weaker ones back on Earth. Holly explains and mentally chides herself. That was a little unfair. Bjorn had told her once that he had seen some of the toughest people he knew just snap and break, and he wasn't sure sometimes how he had gotten through all of it when so many others couldn't. How he couldn't even imagine how the Nerd Squad had done it, as the vast majority had been skinny and unathletic before trying. Humans that didn't have immediately obvious abs were more of the stout strongmen who were even stronger due to their build and retention of power. How do you know so much? Does Mr. Bodyguard get talkative in private? Actually, yes. When he doesn't have to possibly fight and kill something at any moment, he calms right down and relaxes. Holly admits with a smile. Still, that's not the point. And what is the point? One of them asks, and Holly finds herself at a loss for words. What is the point of the conversation? What it is? I forget, but it's not that. Holly answers, and there's a snort. So, one of the go-bees begins. So, Holly asks, you planning on having some fun with Mr. Man there? There's a club on the 20th commercial floor. That's halfway up the arcology. Holly notes, and the go-bee has an angry look for a moment. There's something in her presence, but she's hiding it well. It's called Green Gals. I own it. You're welcome to come over and show off your man. Really? I haven't found a lot of clubs since coming to Zalwar. Granted, I've been busy, but a night of dancing sounds awesome. Holly says, not mentioning that she was aware of the place but a little nervous since her last night out dancing went really, really wrong. Well, we got drinks for girls as big as canadors, adjustable seats, and some of the best up-and-coming music mixers and song stylers on this half of Zalwar. Fees not so high either. The go-bee offers, and Holly holds her chin as she considers. Then Bjorn emerges from the change room. He's back in his tough, loose pants, military boots, and leather jacket. Does he always wear shiny black leather? He's hiding weapons under there, Holly advises as Bjorn walks up. Any more appointments here, or are we leaving? Oh, just about. I got my real workout done and out of the way this morning. A full day of helping girls get themselves in shape kept me going, so I'm eager for a little after-workout snack. Holly replies, and he nods. All right, let's go get it. Bjorn notes before Holly pauses. First, though, I need to change. It's been too long since we've been to a club. Are you going to do that thing again where you hip-check other women away from me? Because that was just asking for a fight. When did she do that? The Goba asks, and Bjorn groans. Not nearly long enough ago. My job is hard enough without my VIP actively picking fights. I'll be good, but only if you're dressed. Dressed? Dressed how? He asks, and she smiles at him. An hour later, Bjorn is waved through the door as Holly pays the bouncer to let her through. The sound is a techno-metal hybrid as a huge crowd bounces and grinds to the music. Holly talked him into wearing skinny leather pants, an open button-down shirt to show off his abs and physique, and dress shoes. With specialized sunglasses that would darken further on sudden spikes of light, a quick protection against flashbangs and light-based attacks. It had taken a lot of Axiom bullshit to slip a comfortable amount of weapons into his pockets, but he managed it. Woo-hoo! Time to partay! Holly cheers as she grabs him by the shoulder and guides him further in. She's rocking a red and black micro-skirt, which is really more of a belt. What look like the tops of front-laced boots torn out of the boot to fit around her hooves, a bikini top that makes her breasts stand out more even as it sinks into her fur and really just highlights her nipples more than anything. She's pulled her hair up into pigtails and has a micro-purse on a shoestring and tied to her skirt. Fingerless gloves and jangly bracelets and earrings complete the look of Party Queen and blends her in with the crowd shockingly well. "You are my man, and I am here to show you off," Holly declares, stepping close to Bjorn and leaning over to kiss him on the nose. "Now dance with me. Don't want to stand out too much and draw in the crazies, do you? You are one manipulative piece of work," Bjorn remarks even as he starts moving with the music. Holly turns around and starts backing up into him in time with the music, and he grabs her around the hips and helping guide with the movement as the dance is mostly just her bumping into him over and over. "Hey now, big girl, no need to be greedy. You've got a lot of man here. Care to share?" A familiar voice says, and Holly turns to regard the rabbis from earlier that day. She's in just as provocative a club outfit as Holly and has her friends behind her. Holly glances to Bjorn, and for a moment, one selfish, greedy moment, she wants to say no. Then she smiles. "All right, but there's something you should know?" Miss Muscles is head girl, one of the Lyrak asks. Her outfit is actually fairly close to Holly, so she's the one Holly pins as the fashion-forward member of the group. Bjorn only really relaxes in very, very specific places, which means if you want more than a dance and a wink, you'll have to come with us after. There a reason why? He's my bodyguard, so he only lets himself go loose when we're behind friendly lines. "It's a day and night job," Bjorn confirms. "So you are one of those humans?" one of the Lyrak asks, stepping around to Bjorn's side, and he nods. "I had been wondering. You don't get many Tret men cut enough to do grind meat on the man." "Just trying to keep to standard," Bjorn replies. "So you're playing nice tonight, Holly?" "I think I'm willing to share. Just letting the girls know that if we're doing this as a group, not only can I not be cut out, but there are certain rules. If I can get some of this deep dish delight, I'll be happy," the rabbi's remarks, running a hand over Bjorn's chest and then abs. "Delicious."